to the computer. You got it. All right. So everybody should be able to see the full screen, or is the people on the side blocking the notes? For me, it's blocked, so I'm gonna have to escape out of that. All right, let me go keep it in this size then. All right, so again, chapter 2, becoming abundant. Whether you're consciously aware of it or not, deep inside you're seeking growth, aliveness, wanting to manifest your potential and be all you can be. Most people are seeking a life filled with joy, love, a feeling of security, creative self-expression, enjoyable and meaningful activities, and self-esteem. The more of these aspects you have in your life, the more fulfilled you feel, and the more you'll be able to realize your full potential. And the more you'll be able to magnetize money, right? Create money and attract and draw to you anything and everything that you really in your heart desire. An important part of manifesting is learning to create only the things that fulfill your deepest needs. And that's the real key point of this chapter, is the deepest needs part. And serve as tools to help you grow and have the best life possible. I live in an abundant universe. I always have everything I need. That's a good, beautiful affirmation from the book. So most people think that having money will fill a need, allowing them to experience a feeling, quality, or situation they do not now have. Some people think a large sum of money will give them feelings of aliveness, well-being, self-esteem, inner peace, love, power, or security. Money and objects by themselves will not automatically fulfill your needs or give you the feelings you want. So this is the key question to focus in on, or the key statement. If you think that having more money will give you inner peace, for example, allowing that quality of inner peace into your life is key to becoming more magnetic to money. And we're going to go into other, deeper needs and higher qualities other than just the inner peace part. Everything I do brings me aliveness and growth. Whatever you think having more money will give you, aliveness, whether it be peace, self-esteem, is the quality you need to develop to become more magnetic to money and abundance. View money and things not as something you create to fulfill a lack, but as tools to help you more fully express yourself and realize your potential. So just stop for a moment. I'm going to read this to you. You just reflect upon it and think about it. If you want to write it down, if you have a notepad, you might want to jot some notes if you haven't already done this, but stop for a moment and just ask yourself, what do you think having more money will give you that you don't now have? Is it peace? Is it confidence? Is it just whatever comes to mind? Write that down or just make a mental note of that. What deeper needs or desires would be satisfied if you had a large sum of money? Would you have more security or freedom? Freedom from worry? A simpler life? What higher qualities or feelings do you think you would have more of, whether it's inner peace, love, self-esteem, well-being, happiness? If it isn't a large sum of money you want, but an object or an item that you don't yet have, what needs will that item satisfy in your life? If there's anything material that you want, whether a higher quality or feeling you would like to experience more frequently. All right, so like I said last week, we covered that the good news is that whatever that higher quality is, but we can start satisfying that right here and right now. We don't have to wait. And I love the way it says it right here. You can start satisfying those needs right now. You can have a joyful, fulfilling life and realize your greater potential without material things that you want to create. The essence, and the key word is essence, that's why I have it underlined, of anything that will serve your higher good is within your reach. The universe doesn't say you can have what is good for you only after you make $1 million. The universe says that whatever is for your higher good, you can have right now, today. And we're talking about that essence, and we're going to get more into that. So if that doesn't make sense, we're going to clarify. Ask yourself again the question, what you want money to give you, and think of ways you could have the essence of those things right now. So just think of something and just keep drilling. We're just going to keep drilling that home. What do you think the money will give you? Because that's what we're really looking for. And the more we fulfill that need or develop that essence or develop that higher quality, the more magnetic we become and resonate, because we live in a vibrational universe, right? So we resonate to that greater abundance. So we're going to look at right here. Well, right after this, we're going to look at it. But some people are motivated to make money because they think having it will take away their problems and lessons. You cannot live on alert earth and avoid lessons, but you can learn them easily and with joy rather than struggle. Developing qualities of inner wisdom and peace will help you see your problems as opportunities for growth, which will help you deal with them more easily than having more money ever will. And that's what I told you. It's not about what we get, it's about who we become. Real key thing that money, like security, let's look at security. A lot of people think that money, a large sum of money will give them a sense of security or feel safe, right? You may want a large sum of money in order to feel secure. Security does not come from accumulating wealth. Some people have created multi-million-dollar empires and still don't feel secure. In fact, if they do not learn to feel secure, more money may amplify the insecurity or intensify the feelings. You see that a lot of times with people, they have a lot of money, but since they've never healed their insecurity, right? The more money only amplifies their insecurity. And it doesn't matter how much they get, they still have this sense of insecurity. For you, feeling secure might come from developing qualities such as courage and trusting your inner guidance. If you have a feeling of security within you, you'll be able to create a life that reflects that feeling. And the key thing is within you, because the security is not going to come from anything outside of you. There's things outside of you might assist you in feeling secure, but the real security is going to come from within you, from how you feel inside yourself. If you have a feeling of security within you, you'll be able to create a life that reflects that feeling. If you want more security in your life, stop for a moment, get quiet, and ask yourself what quality you could develop that would help you feel more secure. I'm going to repeat that question one more time and just reflect on that if security is your key thing. And security might not be your thing. It might be peace. It might be something else. But whatever sticks out to you now at this point in your life. If you want more security in your life, stop for a moment, get quiet, and ask yourself what quality you could develop that would help you feel more secure. And for me, I got faith in parentheses. That was the first thing that came to my mind. For me right now is developing my faith, and developing trust, and faith. One way to look at faith, right? Faith is what you're preparing for, right? If you're preparing for sickness, your faith is in getting sick, basically. It's just one example. But anything you're building your life in preparation for, that's where you're placing your faith, because that's where where like I said, the attention goes, the energy goes. And what we're preparing for, this is my own thing, what we prepare for is where we're putting our faith in. It doesn't mean that, like you can't be like a Boy Scout and be prepared for calamities and things that happen. But if our focus is always on constantly working to secure for a certain rainy day or whatever, then, we're going to pretty much draw that rainy day. It's going to come, because you'll be ready for it, because that's where you're putting your faith, your attention. Power. Some people want money because they think it will make them more powerful. We're not referring to the ego power, the kind that manipulates or control others. We see a lot going on in the world, right? But true power, which comes from reaching upward, gaining inner peace, manifesting your potential, and operating from the light of your soul rather than your personality. What qualities, if you have experienced them more often, would assist you in experiencing more personal power? Find ways to express these qualities and do these activities more often. Whoever has the dog, could you mute? I radiate self-esteem, inner peace, love, and well-being and happiness. As you express the higher qualities you think more money will give you, radiating those qualities outward with your words, actions, and being, you'll become magnetic to money and objects that are physical expressions of your new level of consciousness. So we're going back to the part that you are the source of your abundance, right? That you are the source, and then that you are the cause of your prosperity as well. You being vibrationally aligned to those qualities. The one key thing that he says in the end of the chapter is the process of getting there is the process of being there, or something like that. I want to look at it again just to make sure I'm saying it right. But developing any higher quality, be it love, inner peace, well-being, happiness, courage, personal power, self-respect, will change your vibration and make you magnetic to whatever matches your new vibration. You'll become magnetic not only to more money, but to all forms that will help you express your new level of growth. You'll draw to you things that you know you want, as well as having things come to you before you're aware of you need them. And I've experienced that more often too. Like, sometimes, like there's a scripture or verse that says he knows what you have need of, right? And a lot of times when you're aligned and you're living in that higher vibration, that things that you don't even know you need, they just come to you at the right time, whether it's people, whether it's, resources. whatever that is. Everything kind of lines up. And when you're living in the flow, and we're going to talk more about that in a little bit, but you just become magnetic to drawing to yourself things that you need without even consciously having the thought about it, without even like making the thought, like I'm making a list. You're not even making the list. Like before you even think about it or make the list, it shows up. Who wants to live from that kind of space? And that's possible. So you'll draw to you things that you know you want, as well as having things come to you before you're aware you need them. You'll attract things that are better than what you asked for, and everything around you will fit who you are. I create money and abundance through joy, aliveness, and self-love. And so last week we talked about that quote from Howard Thurman, that what the world doesn't need more people to, I forget what it says, but what the world really needs is people that are alive, right? And to look at those things that make you come alive. That if you're in touch with the needs you want money to fulfill and the higher qualities, and that's what the key with this chapter is looking at, higher qualities and the needs and the deeper needs, you hope it will bring you, and you work to developing those qualities, the money, the objects you attract will bring you joy and self-fulfillment. And fulfillment is a key thing that we're going to focus on tonight. It was in the first page that we looked at, and here it comes again. If you don't know what deeper needs and higher qualities you want to express by having something, you may or may not be satisfied with it when you receive it. And even though you're able to attract it, you may be making more money right now than at any other time in your life, yet not feel any more abundant or rich than you did at a lower income. If your inner needs are not satisfied, no amount of money will feel like enough. Now, I've had times in my life where I had more money than I knew what to do with, and I still felt broke and poor, because whatever I was chasing. And I've had times in my life where I've had not as much, but I felt so abundant and so prosperous and felt like everything was there for me. So that really, to me, that really hits home. So statement 9 of this principle, I'm going to go over this a little bit. But before I do get into this, I just want to take time to, I'm just going to read through it, and I'm going to stop the recording, and then we're going to kind of discuss with everybody what's been coming up for them around all this stuff of, higher qualities and deeper needs, around what they think a large sum of money or whatever they just want to manifest in their lives would bring them. When I am aware of the God self within as my total fulfillment, I am totally fulfilled. I am now aware of this truth. I have found the secret of life, and I relax in the knowledge that the activity of divine abundance is eternally operating in my life. I have simply to be aware of the flow, the radiation of that creative energy, which is continuously, easily, and effortlessly pouring forth from my divine consciousness. I am now aware. I am now in the flow. And so many years ago, when I was doing this at one point in my life, the 40-day prosperity program, and this specific meditation or this specific affirmation or principle really got me in touch with the fact that, that this energy, this creative energy is within me, and it's continuously, easily, and effortlessly pouring forth through me, from this divine consciousness within me. And I'm just, my responsibility is to be aware of it. My responsibility is not to create it. It's already there. Supply is already there. You are supply right here and right now. The thing is, are you asleep to it or are you awoken to it? So we're waking up through the meditation practice, right? And tuning in. We're waking up to this energy, this frequency that's constantly radiating through us. And that energy, that creative energy, is flowing through our thoughts. It's flowing through our belief systems. It's creating our universe. It's creating our world. But when we turn, like in the 10th one, it goes, I take my mind and thoughts off this world and place my entire focus on God within as the source of my prosperity. So you look at that, you're turning from the outside, from the external to the internal, and you're looking at the source. And when you go to the source, you can't drink from that well and not be and still be thirsty. And that's what this whole thing is referring back to. Like all those qualities, the peace, the courage, the strength, the faith, all of it comes from within us. It's already a part of who we are. And so taking the time to be still and to know what's at the center of our being, you know, and getting in touch with that, feeling it, embracing it, allowing that energy to fill us. That's what this whole process is really about. And if you do nothing else but take the time for 40 days to get with these principles and take 15 minutes out of your day to just repeat them a couple of times and then meditate on them, you know, and let that energy build, and you'll see how where it will take you in consciousness and what it will show you, whether it'll clear away the fear of not having enough, or just getting in touch with this unlimited source of abundance that is the reality of who you are. But the key thing I wanted to point out here is when I am aware of the God self within as my total fulfillment. How many times do we seek fulfillment outside of ourselves, and and then we end up like that Rolling Stone song, like Michael Jagger, that I can't get no satisfaction, right? That nothing really satisfies us, you know. And that real satisfaction, when we get it from here, and we're in tune with our deeper needs and our higher qualities, like the other page was talking about, the other slide was talking about, we're able to create things that are more in alignment with our soul. We create a life that's more fulfilling, you know, because like the old adage says, you know, you don't want to spend your whole life with your ladder against the wrong wall. And then you climb that wall and you're at the top and you're like, wow, this is not really what I thought it was going to be, or this is not really what. And so the next chapter is going to get into that, like, you know, discovering what you want. So we're going to get deeper into that. But I've been doing these meditations for years, and I don't do them all the time. I might pick a time period when I do them, but every time I step into that river, right, it's never the same. Every time I sit down with one of these affirmations, principles of statement, I never see it the same way. And I told you 20 years ago when I was doing this, it was like Chinese. It was a foreign language. It made no sense to me at all. But as I continue to sit with it and be a part of it, like it became a part of me, and I started awakening, feeling this creative energy, this flow, you know, that's flowing through us. And that's the source, that's the substance, that's the creative force, the life force inside. And if we touch that, you know, like it's like going through, what the heck are you doing? Maddie G. Get out of here. Thank you. So, you know, but the key thing is the flow. See, at the bottom it says, I am now in the flow. And being in the flow, that's being in tune with your soul. And everything just starts lining up for you, you know? And you're not living from your, you know, you can live with your left brain, you can live with your right brain. A lot of the world and the education we get in the world, it's all left brain kind of stuff. It's always kind of analytical. It's always like, you know, but that's not, you know, that's not where I live. You know, I'm living in a whole different place, you know, and I'm living in faith and trust, and I'm living in a different part of the brain, and I'm living from a different way, because I'm not, you know, you live in the head, man, you're living in the land of the lost. You know, all the anxiety, all the stress, all the worry, all the doubt, all the fear, that's up there in the head, you know. And so getting in touch with our soul, getting in touch with our heart, getting in touch with this source, we're living in this, in the love frequency. We're living in this peace frequency. And I can never get enough of it, you know, and it's blissful. So with that, let me stop the recording. Stop the share. And there's a recording button.